what's up, everybody? Welcome. This is the Listen Up Podcast. It is your boy Brandon.
Yo, this your boy Sam.
Yo, man, we are back with another episode. Florida State, North Alabama, 58-13. I ain't gonna lie, Sam. This one, like I ain't want to pod. You know what I mean? I woke up this morning, I was like, I hope Sam busy or something. You know, so this is one of those wins that feels like a loss. Um, Man, it's tough, man. But we're gonna get through it together as a family, man. As we usually do. Sam, how you feeling, man?
I feel a little numb. I feel a little
Yeah.
numb. I don't know, man.
We
Football is such a cruel sport sometimes, bro. I don't know. It's just a cruel sport. I found it's kind of sad because, you know, I give a little tidbits about not the game, but Jordan Travis and his class, in particular that 19 class that came in together.
yeah.
I remember when Willie left, and I had talked to Rob Deloach. We was talking when Willie had first left. He was like, "No, 19 class gonna stay. If the coaches want them here, they gonna stay. They came to Florida State because they really love Florida State. It wasn't about
Mm-hmm.
coaches.
Yep.
A lot of the kids in the 19 class, and then when you turn around, they stay, and they went like 0-4. That with that Mike's second season, they was 0-4, and I
Mm-hmm.
was talking to Rob, and at that time, I remember being like, I was very vocal about things that I didn't like that was going on in the program. Like I
Yeah.
never really sugarcoated that stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and when they wasn't really playing Jordan because it's kind of funny now because everybody talks about how he was always going to be the guy, but that wasn't true. They was trying
No.
to play Tate Rodemaker against Jacksonville State. They brought in the Milton, and
Mm-hmm.
me and Rob was talking when they was 0-4 against when they was about to go 0-4, they play Louisville. And me and Rob was talking, and I was like, "Man, Rob, you think they gonna get this shit turned around?" Rob's a straight up guy. You know what I'm saying? And he said, "Sam, you know what? I think they are gonna turn it around." And I was like, well, why you say that? You know what I'm saying? What's so different now? And he was like, I talked to Coach David Johnson. A couple weeks, it was like a week into the season, maybe 2 weeks into that season, and he was like, he said David Johnson had basically told Mike, like, the things you asking these kids to do, you asking them to invest. We got to make a personal investment in them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Yeah.
And Rob told me that, and I remember telling you about it. I never said it on the podcast, but I remember telling you
Mm-hmm.
about it, and I was kind of like, well, man, I really do hope they turn it around. And I remember they got beat after Louisville, and I was after the game with Rob, and I remember, a couple other people was around, and how the players was like, they was very upset, very sad about losing, just about being losers. You know what I'm saying, at
Yeah.
FSU.
Yeah.
And everybody was just really encouraging them. And then you fast forward, a year later, they win 10 games, right? And Mike is fully bought into a lot of those kids in that 2019 class, right? That Tribe
Right.
19 class, Ronaldo Green, Akeem Dent, Deloach, Jordan Travis. These
Mm-hmm.
those guys are the foundation of what's been good about FSU football the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then you get to this place in the season where you're 11 wins. You're gonna have a chance to showcase yourself on a big stage in the college football playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and then Jordan get hurt. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's nobody's fault. I know a lot of people want to blame. The first thing you do when something goes wrong is you start blaming things and want to get rid of
Yeah.
things and stuff. But the truth is, man, that's just football, man.
It is. Yeah.
I remember when I first started watching sports. I remember there was like this great Cincinnati team with Kenyon Martin on it, and
Mm-hmm.
they were just like blowing through teams. Like the Cincinnati team, Bearcats, they was blowing through teams. Kenyon Martin was like an animal, a beast. They go to the first round of the conference playoffs. He breaks his leg the first first 5 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, the Cincinnati
Yeah.
Bearcats season is done.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like these things happen, man. They happen. It happens, man, and it's unfortunate when you're a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the thing that bothers me so much is he Jordan is the epitome of what you wanted as the FSU quarterback, right? He he took all the shit. He took
Yeah.
all the dirt that everybody put on him. He took all the shots early on. Like you said, he didn't want to play football anymore. Like he was going to transfer positions, going to switch. You know, like it did, but he fought through tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of adversity. Of people saying, all right, well, he's limited. You know what I mean? He don't have the ability to throw the football. This, that, and and for him to have pushed through all of that to become, a Heisman candidate, legit. You know what I mean? Like this was supposed to be a game where he was going to pad the stats and get invited. Because again, whether we thought he was going to win it or not didn't matter. Getting invited is the celebration. You know what I mean? It's the opportunity that we have to celebrate him and for him to be recognized for
Right.
all of the hard work that he's put in. And the fact that that's gone, and to that kid, it like it really does. It's hard to talk about because you don't want that to happen, man. Like you really don't want that to happen to that kid. You know what I mean? Like and it's tough. You know what I mean? And then again, like I say, where it happened at, you know what I mean? It's North Alabama in a game that in the paycheck game, on just a obscure play game that took, you know what I mean? North Alabama had 2 weeks. Like the coach said on the sideline, we installed every trick play we could think of. You know what I mean? And so to see how the game was playing out and for Jordan to feel like, all right, I got to put it on my back because that's who he is. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we ain't got it rolling. They don't hit us first. We've responded to adversity all season. Let me put it on my back, spark, and get a play so we can get this thing rolling. And for him to get hurt in that play is tough. It's tough. Like I said, I watched the rest of that game. I don't know if I cheered. You know what I mean? I don't know if I don't know if I celebrated another one. I think the only moment that I was like, okay, that's dope, was when the 13 team came out to celebrate with Toa Philly. When the 13 team came out, I felt like they felt the exact same. They felt like what the fan base was feeling. They felt like what Twitter was feeling. They, you felt numb almost. And so I like the fact that those guys came in and said, no, we gotta inject some life into it. You know what I mean? We gotta find something. We gotta do something. I don't even know if Mike had the answers at that point. Because if you look on Mike face said, you know what I mean? Mike looked lost. He looked, you know what I mean? He looked hurt. He looked stunned. And again, that's just as a human, as a human being, understanding. Forget the at that point, I'm the head coach, forget the national championship, forget all the other stuff that they kind of thought was on the table. Just as a human and a coach who has been with Jordan, who, you know what I mean, who has elevated him. Jordan elevated him to the level that he's at. They kind of, worked in tandem. You could see it on his face that I don't got it. I don't have it in me. So I thought that the 13 team did an excellent job of just kind of finding some life, putting some life into the stadium, into the fan base, into the team. And then they were able to, rattle off 58 straight. But yeah, this is a tough one. This is a tough part of the game that you really, really you hate. You hate it. But like Sam said, it's happened before. In every sport across across sports, we've seen it. And it always happens at the most unfortunate times. So
Yeah, I think I'm not some big I don't really cheerlead coaches and stuff because they here today, they be gone tomorrow, they flame in, they flame out.
Yeah.
But I did feel for Mike in that moment, to be honest with you, because I know that he had to make a personal investment in Jordan Travis. And I know that Jordan Travis had to then turn around and reinvest in Mike Norvell. And, in relationships, when you do that type of stuff, it creates like a deeper bond. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
that pain on his face, and that that was real. So that
He
shit
didn't
just
sleep last night, I'm sure.
that shit just sucks. It just sucks, and it just sucks, man. I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, Tate,
I mean,
Tate,
there's gonna be
Tate is.
questions. There's questions that's gonna come out of this, right? And I think some of the main questions that's gonna come out is gonna be like, does FSU should FSU still be a top 4 seed?
Mhm.
Um,
So let's take these. Let's take them
can
one at a time.
can
Then.
okay, go ahead.
So you know, the first question was, can FSU is FSU still a top 4 team? The answer is yes. Like their resume and record leading up until this point says that they're a top 4 team. Losing Jordan Travis shouldn't change that. Now, what will the committee do that? I don't know. I don't necessarily. Again, I hate to feel like this. I don't care.
Well, see, I guess I would push back, because if you're saying, does FSU have a top 4 resume? Now, I believe that. I believe FSU has
Mhm.
a top 4 resume. But the problem is that if they compare FSU resumes specifically to Washington's resume right now, Washington got a better resume. If you go look at it, like, they've beat more. Like, I thought Washington was going to lose yesterday. I really did.
I did too. I did
And
too.
I thought with Washington losing yesterday, that will put FSU in a safe, secure spot. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So now I'm like, okay, well, Washington has played more ranked teams. They have, and those teams are still
Yeah.
ranked.
Mhm.
Um, Now, can you say, is FSU resume better than Michigan? I think so. I think it's better
Mhm.
than Michigan's. Um, Ohio State, no, I think Ohio State's played probably a little bit, you know, more top 35, top 45 teams than FSU have. And Ohio State, of course. And the Oregon's right there. We all know now that Georgia is the best team in the country, which is kind of crazy that they could three-peat. Is
Oh,
so I mean, right now, I don't if the fight is amongst FSU Washington, I think Washington has the better resume. Now Washington still got to play
but it's
Oregon,
not against. But it's not. The fight isn't FSU Washington
but
because
that's who
again,
they're making this.
Ohio State and Michigan got to play each other, and Georgia got to play Alabama. So it's not against. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right, right, right.
I know it feels like it's a one. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah,
team
yeah.
thing, and if Washington jump us, then that's it. But that's really not like Florida State. Even if they jump and they've dropped them
Yeah.
down to 5.
Yeah, and I
Games
think
still
that
got to get played. Oregon
and I
still has
think
to play
the
Washington. Michigan still has to play Ohio State, and Georgia still has to play Alabama. We only have Florida and Louisville. We
yeah.
got the easiest road. So regardless of, and that's
Mhm.
why I'm saying, are they still a top 4 team? I don't think it matters because if they continue to win, they will get. There's no way possible. Tate will, you know what I mean? They'll have to put us in just based on. They're not going to take
Right.
the 13-0 undefeated ACC team and leave them out. I don't care who the quarterback is.
Yeah. And I do think it matters though. Because I think if they decipher through these teams, they're gonna look and say, like, I think if Jordan Travis would have got hurt 6 games ago, well, you still would have played Miami,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Florida,
yeah, you would
Louisville.
have
You
been
know what
able
I'm
to show
saying? Had
what
like a
Tate can do against
had
those
a
teams. Yeah.
right, a bigger body of work. I
Mm-hmm.
think they would have looked and said, well, because people keep bringing up the Ohio State scenario. What the Ohio State scenario was, quarterback got hurt early, then another quarterback got hurt like mid-season. So
Mm-hmm.
that other quarterback still had to play Michigan and then had to play in the Big Ten championship game. And
Mm-hmm.
they was dominant. Like, they was blowing teams out, you
But
know.
Louisville's a top 10 team. They're gonna you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I
It's
don't
gonna be a 5 versus 9 matchup, 5
yeah.
versus 8 matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do think it's gonna play a part though. Like like we keep coming back to this. If Bama beat Georgia, they're not gonna leave Georgia out. They're not. They're
If
not.
Bama beats Georgia, they're not gonna leave Georgia out.
No,
So then Alabama and Georgia get in. All right.
that's what they're gonna
Michigan, the
do.
winner of Michigan, Ohio State get in.
It's gonna get in.
And
And now you're looking at
you're
Washington
saying
versus
Washington or
Oregon.
Oregon.
Now you're looking at
And
Washington
Florida
versus
State is
Oregon.
on the outside looking in. Okay.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
So
Because
then you
now
need Georgia to, I mean, so
you need
if
Georgia to
that's the
win.
case, then you need Georgia to win.
You need
You need
Georgia to
Georgia to
win.
win.
You need Georgia to win out, because I do think it's gonna be kind of daunting, because they're going to look at it and say, okay, do we really want to put the backup team that we didn't feel that comfortable with to begin with, but now they got the backup? We want to put them in this big time matchup against this big time teams. I mean, I just don't know. Like, to me, I would say Florida State deserves to be in, but I'm saying the way they're looking at it is going to be. I think it is going to matter.
I'm gonna be. I do not believe there's any way possible 13. If Tate goes out and beats Florida and then beats Louisville as the number 8 team, which again ain't out of the realm of possibility.
No, it's not.
I mean,
It's not.
we watched Louisville. I watched Louisville yesterday. We watched the entire game. Nothing about Louisville says they cannot, that Tate can't go out there and beat them. So if he goes out there and win, and FSU is 13-0 and the ACC champion, I cannot, and you're not going to convince me that you're going to take Bama and Georgia and put them ahead, and one loss Oregon, and there's a lot of one loss teams ahead of a 13-0 ACC champion. I'm not sure how the committee can look because you're telling me that our quarterback went out. That, in my opinion, I think that's crazy. Now, again, what happens in the playoff, I honestly don't care. I mean, that's been my stance from the beginning. Win the ACC or whatever. I never thought they could win the championship, but I'm glad I was glad that the championship was on the table. But under no circumstance do we that was always gravy. So at this point, get it. You know what I mean? I don't think they can keep us out. I really don't. And what ML 1219 said, he did beat Louisville last year. Off of a much without having a week to prepare for it. You know what I mean? Thrown in the service with no belief and no faith in, and he went out there and won and beat Louisville. So, no, I don't believe that there's some, that this is out of the realm of possibility. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, again, because it's committee, because it's ADs, because they've already been shaky.
We talking about people sitting in a room.
We talking about people. I know, and that's what I'm saying. And that's where I think it does get scary. I just find it. I will find it to be very, very. I think Florida State's I think brand is too big to be left out.
If they're gonna, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think it's. Before he got hurt, I didn't think it was on the board. But then once he got hurt, and then Washington won, I was like, okay, this is on the board now. Like, it is. It wasn't worth having a conversation with, to me, before then. But now that we sit here now, I can see the conversation.
I can see it.
You know what I'm saying?
I can definitely see it.
Yeah, I can see the conversation now, right? Because now I do think Michigan's going to beat Ohio State. I know everybody feel like Ohio State's going to beat Michigan, but I think Michigan's actually going to beat Ohio State.
I thought everybody thought Michigan going to beat Ohio State. I think everybody thinks Ohio State food. Like, they've not looked good all season, in my opinion.
Yeah, so we'll see.
They've won games. They just haven't looked good in doing it.
Right, but I mean, see, then you get into the same conversation people having about us, though. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This committee stuff is stupid. This all should have been. This should have all been in. We should never got rid of the BCS. They should just took the top 4 teams from the BCS every year, like they took the top 2. So they should have did.
Yeah. I like I said, I don't know. We don't know, man. It's a bunch of dudes with a lot of money in the room making bullshit decisions.
Right.
Anything could happen. Like anything can happen. We have no idea what those people come up with, what justifications, rationales that were there last week are no longer applicable this week. They make it up as they go along.
And then it kind of feels weird because now you got Texas that's going to have one loss to me.
And with a win over Bama. Why would Bama get in?
With a win over Bama. Then you're going to have
at
worst case scenario, you're going to have a one-loss Pac-12 team. That's the worst case for them. Like, one-loss Pac-12
That's why I keep saying, how do you take the undefeated ACC team? And they don't got to get locked with a bunch of one-loss teams.
If the chaos starts, you're going to get one undefeated Big Ten team. That's happening.
Probably Michigan.
They're going to take the SEC champion. That's going to happen.
That's going to happen. I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not going to hold. I don't know.
If you tell me that Jordan Travis is worth 3 spots, you know what I mean? Because again, if you got, I give you undefeated Big Ten, SEC champions in, that's 2 spots. Florida State should not move 3 spots if they are undefeated. You know what I mean? Behind 2
FSU is
behind
at
2
what?
one-loss teams.
FSU is at 3 now, right?
Right.
Yeah, so they wouldn't be moving 3 spots. They'd only be moving 2 spots.
You're still putting one-loss teams ahead of Florida State.
I need some of these
The
one-loss
the
teams
reason why
to
it works right now is because all the teams are undefeated. It don't
Yeah.
I don't think it sounds the same if Florida State is undefeated. Yeah, Florida State's 4 now. It doesn't sound the same if
So FSU's only got to move 1 spot now. That's what I'm saying.
I
They're not
understand that,
valuing.
but you're still talking one loss. That's in 2 weeks from now. There will be teams with 1 loss, and there will be, and Florida State will either have a loss or be undefeated. If Florida State is undefeated, I'm not sure you can justify the fact that they went out and beat the number 8 team or number 9 team in the nation as the number 4 or 5 team. Again, that Louisville win is on the resume. Like, you can talk about schedule or whatever it is, and you can tell me whatever you feel about Louisville.
Yeah.
But Louisville is still ranked 10. So you will have a number 4 or number 5 versus number 10 opponent. That win should mean something, especially if Florida State is undefeated and the ACC champion. It'll cause a controversy. It's very,
It's gonna
again.
be
Will they
controversial.
do it? Will they do it? I don't know. It's very well possible.
I
I'm
know
not saying what Sam's saying is crazy. I find it very, very
I know the
difficult to look
committee
up
is
and say
praying.
you're gonna take an undefeated team.
I know the committee is praying that some of these teams start sorting themselves out. I know they is, because if it
They
holds
don't
the
want
way
to
I
have to make
think,
that decision.
they don't want to have to make that decision, because it's gonna be ugly, man. It's gonna be ugly because
No.
the LSU win doesn't look that great, right?
Well,
Well, I'm just
like I say,
saying.
Daniel's gonna win the Heisman.
No, why would he? So this is another thing. Why would he win the Heisman over Penix? I
I
don't
don't know.
understand that.
More moments.
I mean, scoring 10 touchdowns against Georgia State and Florida, like, that's not. Penix just won in the rain away from
But
home.
he only scored 22 points. You know, it's about looks, man.
But I'm just saying, though, like,
I get what you're saying.
he's been
I
better.
agree with you. I
He's
actually
been
think
better in the bigger
Penix should
moment.
get it.
Yeah.
I'm with you. But I'm telling you, Jay Daniels probably gonna get that.
So
Like, it's all about hype, essentially.
So the LSU win, to me, it's not a bad loss. It's not a bad win. These are good wins. I'm just saying in general, when you start siphoning through the wins, you start looking at it like, okay, LSU, that's a decent win. You know, it's not the top 5. It's like we needed LSU to kind of beat Bama. You know what I'm saying? We needed LSU to kind of beat Bama and kind of, you know, at least go to the SEC championship games. At least you can say you won to the SEC runner-up. Then you turn around, you got Clemson win doesn't look that great. You know, Clemson hasn't really been great this year. You know, Miami kind of fell off. I thought Miami would at least get the 8 wins. They're looking at 6, maybe 7.
That Duke win was a top 10, 15 matchup. They don't,
But you know, they don't fell off too. They just lost to
Virginia.
Virginia yesterday.
Yeah, they just lost to Virginia.
You see what I'm saying? It's like all these teams that you kind of needed to kind of find their way and kind of pick up a little steam, it just didn't. I mean, like, see this person saying LSU 9-3 isn't that good enough? That's the only 9-3 team you got on the schedule right now.
Yeah.
Until you play Louisville, and everybody's gonna play conference championship games now, and so everybody's gonna play a good team in their conference championship, other than the Big Ten. So I don't know, man. You know,
again, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even care about none of these conversations.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I know. I mean, listen, for podcast, but we gonna discuss. But it, like, all of this stuff feels crazy. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I know somebody put in the chat. Can you get a Heisman with 3 losses? Several quarterbacks have done it.
Yeah, but I think, but in those years, numbers was down with other quarterbacks on winning teams.
Okay, I mean, again,
Like when they
but Lamar but you looked at Lamar and you said Lamar was the most dynamic player in
right.
You know what I mean? Lamar was the most dynamic player in there. When Tebow won it,
but they gave him a lot of credit for beating Florida State that year. He put a lot of points on FSU, and FSU ended up in the Orange Bowl.
Orange Bowl, yeah.
Who the hell has Jaden Daniels beat this year? That's gonna do anything important.
Who gonna end up in the playoffs? No, they didn't. I'm just kidding. He didn't beat nobody.
He didn't beat anybody. I'm just saying he just hasn't.
He ain't beat nobody. I'm just messing. Yeah, no, he ain't beat nobody. Yeah, he ain't beat nobody. Like, I was gonna say all the big games he lost.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out who has he beat.
That's what I'm saying. They lost against Ole Miss.
Yeah, you're right. He's putting up great numbers, but you're right. He don't have a signature win that he can look back on and say,
Right.
"All right, I did that." He don't have that. He don't have the Michael Penix crying at the after the game
When they
because
pull Penix numbers at the end of the year, they're gonna look at his touchdown and interceptions, look how many ranked teams he beat, and he's in the best conference this year.
Mm.
So I think that's gonna play a big part of it. You know what I'm saying?
I would imagine so. I'm not
But I
again.
mean, we need some more weird stuff to happen, to be honest with you. We
Yeah,
need some more weird
yeah,
stuff.
people got to lose, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
rivalry week is going to have to take some teams out. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to take some teams out. We're gonna have to hope for some weird stuff to happen, and Florida State just has to keep winning, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take it out of committee hands and let's hope, like I say, some weird stuff happens on this next week. You know what I
So
mean? Maybe we get some weird stuff and yeah, and that's the other thing. We got to, at this point, as a team, we're gonna have to rally around Tate. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the next
so let me
that's
ask
the
you
next
this.
question. That's the next question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What would the offense look like with Tate, and can they win the last 2
Mm-hmm.
games with Tate?
You go first one.
I think Florida was on the board before you even played, before Jordan Travis got hurt. I felt like that game was on the board. Like, I did feel like he was going to beat Florida, right? I think you would make 2 or 3 more special plays in Florida. You would beat Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you see, that Florida team is not giving up. Like, they are still playing hard to win
Definitely.
games.
They care.
They care, okay? They care, which I think that's kind of overblown, like players giving up. I think more times than not, players understand that
You playing
NFL teams are,
football.
yeah,
You
NFL
playing
teams are
football. I
watching
don't see
them.
how you can give up in football. Like you gonna just sit there and let a dude hit you in the face every play.
Right,
I've never understood giving up.
right. I think I've only seen two teams, and I don't even think they've done that through the stretch of a season. I think you see a game here and a game there where it looked like a team just ain't ready to play. I've only seen that twice at FSU, to be honest with you. But I know that's a talking point of media when it's time to fire a head coach. Oh, the team gave up on him. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But so I felt like that game was on the board. Now, Mertz did get hurt yesterday for UF. Pretty sure he's out next week. Pretty
He's
sure
out.
that the shoulder.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, it's
Pretty
collarbone.
sure he's out.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But the other quarterback runs way more than Mertz does. Like, he is a zone read animal. So he's gonna run it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In the swamp. That game is
At
already sold out.
At night, yeah.
At night.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be tough.
It's definitely gonna be a tough game.
It's gonna be tough because I do think Florida. While I don't think Florida is great on the back end of their defense, their front seven is very stout. Like, they don't allow you really to run on them a lot. Well, they do. They're pretty good run game. Their problem is they have nothing on the back end. So if you can block them, you can throw the ball up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I mean. You talking about home run? Like, if you get past that first level, it's house. Them dudes ain't
they
interested in
safeties are
tackling back
terrible
there in that
because
back
they're
end.
so young.
Yeah, when they get to that backside, them cornerback and safeties, and one of them like ain't really deciding they want to tackle or get in the mix. So if you block it up properly, you gonna house it. You know.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I looked at Florida, and I watched the backup. It's LSU. You know what I mean? The fortunate thing for Florida State is they've played mobile quarterbacks. They've seen how to prepare for them. You played was it Costello or whatever for Boston College. He ate you up. You know what I mean? But again, I don't think we were prepared for that. We played Jaden Daniels. We limited him. I think they'll have a game plan in place. Understand that we playing a mobile quarterback, then you're gonna have to contain. I think Deloach is gonna have that'll be a game for him. You know what I mean? Will he be able to keep this kid from running this read option? I think that's why I really mess with Missouri. You know what I mean? You go from playing just a straight pocket drop back in Mertz to now this mobile dude. They weren't even like they just every time they took the running back and he was just breaking off. Well, now with a week to prepare, understanding what you got and what they're going to do with him, make him beat you throwing the football. And that's what I'm not sure he can do. I'm not saying he can't because I promise I don't know nothing about this kid. All I know is what I saw last night. And he looks like he's going to run the ball. He looks like he has a lot of confidence. That's one thing I did.
Yeah, he do
I
got a lot of
liked about him.
confidence.
He
Yeah.
got a lot of confidence. He got a lot of swagger and moxie to him. So he ain't gonna, he ain't punk. So I think he gonna get everything, and he's gonna compete. I'm just not sure how much he's gonna be able to win. I'm not sure how much he's gonna really be able to bring if you shut down the fact that he's gonna have to run it. If you make him one dimensional and make Florida have to throw the football, take away all those trick stuff that what's the name gonna do, that Billy Napier's gonna do, you have a chance. But again, do I think it was? I'm not nearly as confident as I was beforehand. I knew we were going to win the game earlier. Now I still think we'll win the game because I think our defense plays well enough and makes enough adjustments to where they'll stop Florida more times than I think we'll be stopped. And I think Tate Rodemaker is good enough and we have more than enough weapons to exploit the fact that their defense is garbage.
Well, something that did bother me watching the game yesterday with Tate is if you kind of like take away his first reading that RPO, he does like he just kind of drifts in
He's
the
flustered.
pocket a lot. Yeah, he gets very flustered. So
yeah,
these are concerning things. I mean, FSU last year when Tate came in against Louisville, FSU ran the ball a lot better last year. Okay,
100%.
they ran the ball a lot better. And a lot of, I'm not blaming the offensive line on why Jordan Travis got hurt. I'm not doing that. But what I am saying is the only way we can get run game started this year was with Jordan Travis running, like running his zone read, getting away, you know what I'm saying, making them account for him. Then we can kind of start hitting some of these up the gut runs. So it's a different game this year than it was last year. Now, FSU is better on the outside than they was last year. In my opinion, they're better on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But it does concern me because now, okay, I think there's a chance Florida's going to be able to stop you with 5 defenders in the box because everybody's been able to stop you with 5 defenders in the box this year.
Yeah,
right?
they will.
So if they muddle up this RPO read, which that's what Tate throws great. He throws the RPOs, them seam routes. That's like his favorite play. It's his favorite thing to do, right? If they muddle that up,
it's pretty too.
Yeah, if they muddle that up because they can stop the run with 5, it's going to be a problem.
I'm be honest. I don't think they know what they're doing on defense down there. I hear everything you're saying, and I watched their defense. I watched that defense again. Look what we watched last night.
Okay, but
Florida had the game won.
Okay, well, let's be honest. Missouri has one of the top wide receivers in the country with a top passing game in a really good running game. Like Missouri is a good team. They're number 18 in the country. They're a good team.
I'm not arguing it. I'm not saying. I'm
So
just telling you.
but you're saying
your defense needed to make one stop and they could not get it.
Okay. I'm not saying Florida's great. Okay, but I'm saying we don't have like the quarterback that Missouri had played a lot of football. Pretty good quarterback. Not great, pretty good quarterback.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like you're talking about why they couldn't stop him. I'm telling you why they couldn't stop him.
Brandon in the chat telling me I'm a homer.
The only team that stopped Missouri has been Georgia. I mean, Georgia put a hell of a number on them, but I think other than that, Missouri's pretty much scored on everybody. And I'm not saying Florida's great. I'm just saying, if you're telling me they got beat by Missouri, okay, Missouri's better than them.
They were supposed to lose to Missouri. That's not the point I'm making. I'm saying that the defense again that needed one stop with a minute and a half could not get a stop. And I'm saying consistently throughout this season, they have not stopped a single team. And I get it. It's Tate Rodemaker. I get it. But we still have a lot of weapons and a quarterback who is at least comfortable in the system, has seen it before. So I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm not saying they should win. I'm still saying the defense that's been trash is still going to be trash.
Okay. And then
that's all I'm saying.
Okay. And I'm not saying, I think y'all taking this the wrong way. I ain't saying Florida's great, man. But I'm saying they can put you in situations. Like you do have to execute in some high leverage situations against Florida. And if you gave me Jordan Travis in the game, I wouldn't care about executing a high leverage situation because we got Jordan Travis. You finna ask Tate Rodemaker to do this in the swamp. Okay. Florida's gonna get us some stops.
Okay? They will get some stops. They will probably get a fumble.
And I'm about 100% sure, like watching the way Florida runs the football, They're gonna bust some runs on this defense.
They
They are.
will do that as well.
They're gonna bust some runs on this defense. Okay.
They will trick him. Pitts is going to find himself open at some point in the
Right.
back half of the defense because they figured out ways to scheme him open. Like, again, I'm not, all of that's true. All of it's true.
Okay. So
it's possible. Yeah, it's possible that Florida State loses the game. It's also possible that they win it.
So no, I'm not saying Florida State will lose the game. I'm just saying it becomes like
I'm just saying, it feels like the story is Florida State don't have no chance in Florida anymore, as if Florida is some sort of world beating team. That's what I'm saying. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like we can't beat Florida because Florida's some world beating team. And I'm saying I've watched Florida play, and I don't think they're a world beating team. I think Florida State has it's in my opinion, it's a coin flip game.
Okay, so the game is now on the margins. It wasn't on the margins before yesterday. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm saying they're gonna bust runs. They're gonna bust runs. Okay, on us. They are, because FSU's basically have allowed teams that can run the football to bust runs. Like that's Miami busted runs on us. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, this is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to go into the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Okay. The Louisville game is a lot more troubling to me than the Louisville game. I mean, the Louisville game is more troubling than the UF game.
I don't think I'm gonna pick us to win that one when it comes down to it. But I want to see what Tate look like against Florida.
Right. The only thing about Louisville is this: while Florida's going to do some things in that game that is going to give you the game, Louisville's not really going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to get 12 men on the field on 4th and 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to
crazy stuff.
Right. They're not going to do that type of stuff. Right. They're not going to be in a bad defense on 4th and 17. They're not going to do that. Like, look, I'm just saying, like, that's like, Brom is a good coach. So,
he is.
Florida's going to give you things that you probably don't even deserve, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you miss a kick and they might get a roughing. I mean, you miss a pass and they get a roughing on 4th. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're gonna help you out.
Yeah, Louisville's not gonna do that, right? Louisville's not gonna do that. So Louisville's tougher because they're more disciplined, and their coach, he's gonna have a good script. So you're probably gonna have to come from behind to beat Louisville, like, because they're gonna scheme it up. Those first 25 plays from Jeff Brom is pretty damn good. I think Mike Norvell does a good job with the script. I think Jeff Brom is him and Mike are like 1 and 2 as far as I'm concerned. Is like far as scripting up plays the first 25 plays. So it's gonna be a great. It's gonna be
that first drive gonna be a touchdown. Like they gonna they are so good at that's one thing about it, man. They are so good at scripting that drive up. It looks flawless. It'd be 3 quick plays. It'll be 3 quick plays in the end zone. You like, sheesh.
Yeah.
I hope this ain't how the whole game gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only bad thing about Louisville and why I thought we could beat them with Jordan was because their quarterback will throw interception. He will throw interception. You know, he will get if you hit him enough, he will get frazzled. You know, I think the thing I'm worried about with Louisville is if the Jawar Jordan kid, if he's healthy going into that game, because he wasn't healthy yesterday. But if he gets healthy before that game, that could be a problem because that kid is like really dynamic, like really fast. Can really get from A to Z quick. So I think we could beat Florida with Tate. Man, I don't know about the Louisville game. I don't know. Like I don't
gonna be tough.
I think they can get you in a game where it becomes 27-28, 24-27. And they're just not gonna make mistakes, man. They're not. So I don't know.
Yeah, again, I'm with you. Like I said, I have no clue. But I think it's because we don't know what Tate, you know what I mean, what Tate's going to be able to do. We've only really seen Tate in a limited role. Again, the Louisville game, prayer circle, maybe we need to hold another prayer circle for Florida, you know what I mean, to get it, because that worked against Louisville. Maybe we need just 2 prayer circles. We just every week we just meet up Sunday. We just, you know what I mean. I don't know, but what I will say is because we don't know of what we're going to get from Tate Rodemaker, I can't say, you know what I mean? Tate may come out there and ball his ass off next week, you know what I mean? And we'll look at the Louisville game and say, all right, well, everything on the table. If this is who he is, if he's got that much command of the offense if he's figured it out. Again, he was thrown in a limited zero game plan yesterday. You know what I mean? Not expecting to play at all, except for probably. Well, I'm sure he practiced a little. He expected to play yesterday, but let's see. You know what I mean? What can Mike scheme up? He's now got more command of the offense. What can Mike scheme up? What does he do well? Let's figure. Mike got a week. That's what he get paid the big bucks to do, is to figure it out. I imagine he didn't walk in that locker room and told the team the season's over with. Let's all go home. So if that's the case, then hey, stay late, figure it out. We got this team got great receivers, great tight ends, great running backs. Maybe they can figure it out. You know what I mean? Maybe they can figure it out. It's not like it ain't talented. He's walking into a very good situation. He's walking into two dynamic wide receivers. He's walking into a dynamic tight end and two really good and two dynamic running backs. And you see how deep that running back that room is. You know what I'm saying? So okay, figure it out. And the defense who's playing who figures it out. Are they great? No. Do they do stuff poorly? Absolutely. Seems like he's regressing as the year's going on. Looks like it. But what I can say is they figure it out. They figure it out. Every week we've said they'll give up a lot of points in a row. They'll look lost, and then they go into halftime or they get to it and they figure it out.
I think against
Louisville, they'll figure it out again.
I think against Louisville, though, in particular, you can't do that. You can't be. I think you need to come in with a good plan.
I agree. You don't want to play from behind.
Yeah, you don't want to get behind against Louisville. You don't want to be trying to figure stuff out on the fly, because once Jeff Braun gets ahead of you, he stays ahead of you. You don't catch up to him schematically. I mean, I watched him do that against Ohio State a couple of years ago with Rondale Moore. Like, Ohio State was trying to make all these adjustments, and he was just like, I don't know if people don't like hearing this, but he reminded me so much of Jimbo, like 2012, 2013 Jimbo, like aggressive, angry, defiant ass Jimbo in big games. Like Jeff Brom has 1,000 play sheets over there. Like he really does. He be cursing.
And the thing that they usually have is a bunch of Florida athletes who mad that Florida State and Miami didn't pick them. That's you again. I don't know if they got it this year, but every year it played them. There's a couple receivers, a running back, somebody who for some reason is pissed the fuck off that Florida State did not recruit them. And so what they're gonna have is somebody with a vendetta, and we'll hear about it in the middle of the game. Such and such played for. He always grew up an old fan. They're gonna have him with his t-shirts and everything. It's gonna be at Louisville, and so that they something about teams Louisville when they play us, man, is they seem to want to they take it personal.
It's just the way he goes about. He's really good in big games, man. He really is, man. He
shows up,
and Jeff Brom shows up in big games, man. So this whole let's just get the halftime mindset. That's not an ideal.
Well, yeah,
I'm just saying that's not ideal.
You're talking about as their strategy as a whole,
right?
That's been their thing. Yeah.
There
you go. We recruited Kevin Coleman. Yeah, that's the dude.
Yeah. So I mean, you need to. I thought Miami did a really good job against them, busting runs against them, and creating pretty good leverage against Louisville yesterday. And but like I said,
I think we can capitalize on some of that stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just gonna be about FSU's. I mean, they special players gonna have to play special, man. That's just all to this, man. It just comes back down to Keon Coleman. Johnny Wilson can't be dropping the football tomorrow when he play against Florida and when he play against Louisville.
Now you're like you said, the margins are slim.
Everybody
has to be their best,
right?
Yeah, everybody. You can't afford a fumble. You can't afford you know what I mean. You can't afford fumbling in the red zone or fumbling in your territory. You can't afford getting down 10 points or 14 points. You get down 10 points in the swamp at night with Tate Rodemaker as your quarterback. They will that stadium is alive, and you are now in not even a dog fight. You are have the ability to now have it go. You know what I mean? So, it's important. Florida State starts fast. They play with a lot of passion. They play with a lot of momentum. You will need two really good games from Tate and this team in order to finish the season undefeated. Right. Can they do it? Absolutely. Will they do it? I promise you, I have no idea. When I tell you I have no idea, I have no idea. Well, and honestly, it's because like I said, we woke up last night. We woke up this morning with horrible. Like you said, we started this thing just numb.
Yeah.
So when I tell you, yeah, everything's on the table. Yeah, we'll continue to cover the team. Yeah, we'll report what happened. But man, it's been a sad day, man, for real. Because Jordan, Jordan didn't. You don't want to say Jordan didn't deserve it, but man, you just wish it didn't happen to this kid. You know what I mean?
I think something that was frustrating yesterday because I thought somebody say that, they stand behind the O line. I think that was somebody's wife. I think it was Atkins' wife. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Atkins' wife was basically like,
And
yeah,
I'm just kind of like, man, they need to tell people like, if you're that close to the program, don't come on Twitter with that bullshit because that can really be misconstrued a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because we felt like watching the game, and we was all
I mean,
saying
I
in a
stay with
real
our O line too, but 63 was getting
well,
whooped
well,
by
we was what we was
division
saying
three
we was
dudes.
saying in a real time, like we shouldn't really have to do this stuff. Like we shouldn't have to trick North Alabama to get 3 yards. Like we should just be
We
able to
could
push
not
them
line
off the
up and just
football.
run. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like that.
And it's been
That's
like that all
all
season.
season long. Yeah, at this point, the offensive line is not good. Is not good. Like
Yeah. It's
there's
like
no way that we.
if the
That's
counter
not an
not
attack on
hitting,
Atkins or whatever it is. They're not good. Like again, we've seen enough to where they can't get a yard. If they need a yard and the other team know they need a yard, and we're gonna line up and they're gonna line up,
yeah.
we're not getting it. We haven't gotten it all season. Not one
Yeah.
time have we got it.
Yeah.
Not once.
I
If I'm
mean,
wrong, tell me. But I don't recall one time that we lined up needing a yard or a half a yard, and we lined up and took it. So at this point, you got to say that's not what that's not in their cards. They're not very good
yeah, I mean, like
as a unit right now.
you're not gonna reinvent your DNA 7 games, 8 games, 9 games. I mean, I remember coming off the bye week, we played against Virginia Tech, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was Virginia Tech after the bye week, and I was like, okay, they still can't do this one thing. So I was like, they're not gonna be able to do it. So it is what it is. So, I ain't saying the O line not good. I'm just saying the O line hasn't taken the step it needed to take to be a great offensive line. I ain't saying that the O line ain't being coached well. I ain't saying that. I guess my whole thing is
Yeah. Again,
let's
Atkins
not
didn't
come
all of a
on
sudden
let's
become
not
a
come
bad
on Twitter.
coach.
Let's not come on Twitter defending the offensive line play because it in the run game it hasn't really been great, man. And I do think if fans want to question, I think it's taken fans a long time to even question the talent in that room. I said it. I think I was on top of this like 6 games ago. I was like, I don't think they're really like a real talented O line. I just don't. So yeah, just stay off of
Bias
Twitter with that
is
stuff.
really bad, guys. Yeah, bias. Yeah,
Just,
keep your family off of Twitter.
yeah,
Yeah,
just stay off of
that's not
Twitter,
for the
man,
play. Yeah,
because
that's not for the
that's
place
not the
of what I
place.
mean. You
That's
got
not the
family,
place.
mamas, and why they talking about? Yeah, we absolutely could not block North Alabama. But why? I guess why am I questioning coaching if we can't block North Alabama? That's
Well,
where I get a little bit like
well,
again. I think he sees practice and he's working with the best unit he got. In my opinion, maybe he not. But I feel like Alex Atkins has been good enough the last. He was on short list, head coach. We were hyping him up, best coach in the staff, blah, but he's been there. And so I don't believe this season he all of a sudden forgot how to coach. So in my opinion, I think he's looking at it and he believes he has the best unit out there. Do I agree? No, not really. But it ain't my job. So I'm going to trust the fact that whoever they got out there, but what I do know is whoever they got out there is not playing well enough. They're not playing good enough. They just not. Buyers, I'm watching dude from North Alabama run by him. There's clips. You know what I mean?
bro,
Against nobody this entire season, they have been able to push to get a yard when they needed to run.
Byers hasn't been good all year.
All year.
I'm just being real. He hasn't been good all year. This offensive line was so bad that was like so terrible that
Yeah.
them just being bad, we gave Ella Atkins a lot of credit for it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Them being average last year, we gave him a lot of credit for that.
Because
Everybody wanted to see them take another step this year to being a good offensive line. They're not. They're not a good offensive line, okay? And I think that's the reason why a lot of these games look the way they look and why people judge Florida State the way they judge them, I do think it's based off the offensive line and what we see in the offensive line.
Now I think what Brandon said it does have a little. When he say 13 high is how bad the line is, I
Bro,
agree with that a little. Yeah,
bro,
I
of
agree with
course
that.
he does. Of course he
Yeah, I
does.
agree with
Of
that
course he does.
100%. Yeah,
He changes the way they have to. They can't really blitz them. They can't do a lot of stuff because if Jordan gets past that defensive line, I mean, he could go for 13, 14, 20 touchdowns. He can go for touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
So you have to be disciplined when you rush them. So that's why I say a lot of this stuff is. That's why I say I don't know what we're going to see against Florida and what we're going to see against Louisville, because this offensive line is going to be way better than what it was. I mean, but you know, just keep your family off the Twitter, man. Like that ain't the place to come in there with the quarterback just got hurt. Nobody wants to, because for one,
Yeah, we don't
if
care
you,
that
yeah, like,
that's not the place for
come
you.
on,
You
man.
weren't, again, if she thought she was getting sympathy in that situation, that I'd imagine he would probably advise her, yo, that's not the place for this. You know what I mean? Like this is not the place for that. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you got anything else. What you got any more questions or whatever it is, but listen, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? The games
But you
got
know
to get
what's
played.
funny? People complain about the 2015 offensive line, the one with Dalvin Cook. And you know, a lot of people's like, "Oh, that
Dalvin
offensive
Cook
line."
made them dudes. Dalvin made that line.
When I talked to Freddie about this,
Dalvin was dodging people in the backfield and just getting 80.
Okay. Just tell you, when I talked to Freddie about this,
Okay, I'm gonna stay with you. Go ahead.
Well, me and Freddie was talking about this. He was like, they really wasn't a great pass blocking offensive line, but he like run blocking. As far as reaching, he like they was dynamic with that type of stuff. Now, the Clemson game, they got beat up in that game, but we do know now that Clemson defensive line, like all those guys are not like all pros in the NFL. Like they've all got like big multi-million-dollar contracts in the NFL now. So, but he was like, run blocking wise, that 2015 offensive line was really good. You know what I'm saying? That's why they could run it the way they did. This offensive line, they don't do anything really well run blocking, man. They really don't.
They at this point they don't do anything well. They don't run block well. They don't pass block well. They don't. The counter is gone. That's Mike Staple. You know what I mean? That counter is gone. They can't run.
They don't.
It gets blown up in the backfield now.
And like, I don't know if that's the backs, the linemen. I don't know, but they don't. I
don't know, well. But I'm saying they don't. They at this point they cannot just scheme it and run. And so again, this is we'll see. You know what I mean? We're gonna see what Mike has to be able to, because again, like you said, 13 hit a lot of the deficiencies of this offensive line. We're gonna see what Mike's gonna be able to do to hide the line. Yeah.
And
again,
I think
I don't know. I don't know what he can do. I don't know what changes he's gonna make, but we'll see.
Another part about 13 missing too is like some of these wide receivers ran hot a lot during these games. Like they would run hot, like real bad attitudes. And 13 was able to kind of calm a lot of these guys down. So now I'm kind of concerned about that a little bit. So, we'll see.
All right.
But quite frankly, I'll be honest with y'all, man. And I know this sounds crazy, but I didn't really want to see this offensive line go up against a Georgia or a Texas or Alabama, or I didn't really want to see that at all. Like I think the damage they would have caused, shit. Sometimes the damage losing to like Georgia, Alabama causes to your program like takes almost 2 years to come back from. Like I didn't really want to see this offensive line against those teams, to be honest with y'all, man. But that was a me thing personally. But
yeah, I think I agree. I think we both agree with that. But I think the difference is we would have at least with 13, we would have felt like we had a fighting chance.
I don't know.
I think we would have felt like
I think they'd have backers and safeties that.
Oh no! Again, would it have gone well? No. Again, I'm not arguing whether or not I'm with you. I think it would have gotten bad. I'm just saying I think we would have been able to lie to ourselves a little bit, or at least as a fan base, and say, Jordan might be able to. Jordan might have been able to kind of help. You know what I mean? Help us do so. But yeah, I'm with you in this one. I don't think we would have wanted to see Georgia. Georgia's trenches is crazy. Bama's trenches is crazy. Texas trenches is crazy.
Michigan
Like
is
anybody with
insane.
crazy trenches is going to really create like crazy havoc. But I think you can look at it and say, well, Miami got crazy trenches too. And we were able to slow them down. Yeah, but we were still able to win the game. And
yeah, we
mainly because
was,
of
but
Tua,
they couldn't score. But then you'd have played against some teams
a
like
team who could
Bama
also score. Yeah,
who also
who got
score.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It would have changed.
Agree.
It
We
would have
don't
changed the
disagree.
leverage game a lot.
You want
I
to
didn't
answer
really
that
want to
question?
see it.
I
Personally,
agree.
I didn't want to see it.
I mean, I would have wanted to see it, but I wouldn't have felt great about it at all. Would you rather beat UF and lose in the ACC championship, or lose to UF and beat Louisville?
Beat Louisville. I won the ACC championship.
I want the ACC championship. No, I lied. I lied. I beat Florida. Florida beat Florida.
Nah, give me the ACC championship.
I don't know. I mean, short-sighted. It's short-sighted. You're right. Win the ACC championship.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, win the ACC championship. Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, he said he'd rather beat Florida too. I don't know. I have a hatred. I try to hide the hatred for Florida. So I think the better thing is, and that's what. Yeah, I think the better thing is to win the ACC championship. But I probably would want to beat Florida.
Yeah, FSU probably won't be in the ACC much longer, but I can tell you right now, man.
Here's one more question: would you rather have FSU undefeated regular season plus ACC championship, but a blowout loss in the college football playoff, or FSU undefeated plus ACC champion win in the bowl game?
I'd rather lie to myself by not making it to the playoffs about what we would have did in the playoffs, because
hopefully we go undefeated and they leave us out and we just end up in a bowl game.
Yeah, I could just lie.
Yeah. Then we could just be mad about it. They left us out. How dare they? And then we go to we play a bowl game and win it.
I felt this way about this team probably since I know it was definitely after the Virginia Tech game. That's when I really left it like, okay, this offensive line is not going to give you a chance against those top teams. So I don't really, I don't want to see them against. I don't want to see them against those type of teams right now, man. To be honest with you, man. I mean, that's just me though. So
that's true. Yeah. Beating Florida kills that, bro. Kills that. That means no bowl game, and that kills that recruiting. Momentum, which they already they reeling as it is. So you add that, it's
And if we go undefeated and not make the playoffs, we can always be like UCF, claim the championship.
You better believe we're gonna be claiming it. Hey, let them go out there and win the bowl game too. They finished at 15-0, left out. Yeah. Hey man, we gonna tell lies. Yeah. We should have been in there. We would have beat Bama. I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna come right on here and tell that lie. I promise. Hey man, we appreciate everybody. You got anything else, Sam?
No, I just think I know everybody's a little sense about the Jordan Travis situation. But man, don't go on Twitter blaming the coaches, strength and conditioning staff, O-line people, and all this other stuff, man. Just back away from the keyboards for a little while. Take a little break, go outside, touch a little grass, touch a little ass, like Silk say. Just
the first emotion you find is anger, man.
I know, man.
The first emotion you find is anger. I learned that in therapy. Is the very first emotion. So once you realize, okay, I'm not angry, you got to figure out what you feeling. So fight through the anger, and then you can get to what you.
Yeah, man. Just
so stop tweeting out of anger, guys.
Yeah, just don't tweet out of anger, man. Don't be adding football players. Don't be in people. Like, just relax, man. Okay, relax. It happens. It's over. Seasons, as far as the seasons went, it's been a great season.
Yeah.
Just relax, man.
Man, ask us what about the Jaguars this week? They lose.
You know what, man? We didn't even talk about the Jags, but
man,
no,
I'm not giving my opinions on Jaguars.
They are going to beat the Titans. They are going to beat the Titans. I told you last week, though. I said it's 49.
But we both picked them to lose. We both picked them to lose, and I think we both was right. I think I told them we were not going to be able to block them dudes, and they wreaked havoc. And so I think I forgot what you said. What did you say? I don't know, but I know we both was right. We looked up in the game, and you was right, and I was right. I was like, yeah.
That defense, that 49ers defense, those zone schemes, teams that run primarily zone schemes, give Trevor Lawrence trouble.
That's what you said. Yep. And what's crazy was everybody came out and was like, If he don't got that first read, he limited. And I was like, ooh, that's a bad thing for defenses like to be calling out in public. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like
I don't
that's
think
crazy.
what they're talking about is him reading the defense. I think what they're talking about is they can't block long enough to get to the second and third reads.
That ain't what they were saying.
That's
I
what
know
they're
that's what
saying.
you saying,
No,
but that's not what they're saying. They're saying he does not get to the second read.
well, he can't get to him because
I
they're
agree with
not
that.
blocking long enough.
I agree with that as well.
They're not
I'm just
blocking long
telling you
enough.
what when you listen to the defensive guys who said it a few times now, they're not saying that they ain't putting it on the offensive line. They're basically saying he don't have the ability to do it.
Right, because
Like it ain't in his skill set.
Because blaming him
Is easier.
Is not easier, but that's the best way to kind of mess with the confidence of the offense, is putting it all on him to make him play hero ball. And when he plays hero ball, he throws picks. So and plus, man, defenses in the NFL has really caught up with offenses in the NFL this year. Like it's not a lot of up and down the field anymore in the NFL right now. Right now, it's going back a little bit to, you better learn how to control the football, because these defenses ain't, when you get greedy.
Possessions are a premium at this point.
Yeah, when
points
you get
is a premium.
When you get greedy on offense this year, these defenses take advantage of you. So I mean, it's down everywhere. It's down everywhere this year. So I think they will beat Tennessee, though. They'll beat the Titans. They're gonna come out spirited. They're gonna beat the Titans. But what I will say about the Jaguars, it is kind of funny how the NFL is, because last year going into the offseason, you felt like this was going to be the Jaguars division for the next 10 years. And now you look up, you see Houston. And you're fighting your ass off with Houston. And now it look like you got Tom Brady and Peyton Manning in the same division. It's so
yeah.
You know what they tell you, the NFL, bro? You're never as good as you think you is. You're never as bad as you think you is, bro. That's the NFL.
Nope.
Like, you're never that far away.
Yep. But anyway, what do you say? Pamela Jack, can I say before we close? I thought it was ironic that we blocked and returned the field goal after it called it. Yeah. I was glad. Yeah. That's exactly right. That's what you get. God, they're gonna call it. Like, what was the field goal purpose for? Like, what were you trying to accomplish? What was the point?
I'm gonna say something about that, coach.
What was gonna happen? Like, I don't get it. Like, man, take your ass home, take your paycheck, and go to the locker room. That's exactly what you get. Block that shit and return to the house.
I'm gonna say something about that coach. That coach, write his name down. Write his name down. Write that coach name down.
I was gonna say I actually like him though as a coach.
I think he got a chance to really.
Yeah, he might turn some heads later on, because I
he
thought
got a chance to really do some things
to football is funny to me. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I was gonna say the same thing, because his approach to football, like when he was interviewed on the sideline, we were like, man, shit, I tried to throw everything at him. We ran every trick, like we installed a whole bunch of trick plays. He was out there like, no, we gonna really try to do it. You know what I mean? You could tell he thinks different, and I like coaches who think different.
He got a real fuck you mentality to him, like a real, so.
He looked fun. He looked fun to play for. It's why those boys play hard. Yeah, that's why they play hard. Yeah, they definitely were spirited. I give it to them.
They came with a certain level of aggression that It came with a certain level of pressure.
That's a fiery bunch, man. I ain't gonna lie. They never stood a chance. I don't know if anybody. I know we talked like it was crazy going on to start the game. They never had a chance, but it was great to see like a team just basically like that coach wake up and say, "Nah, we gonna give him something. We ain't coming here just to collect this paycheck. We gonna give him something." And I thought, like somebody put in the chat, Johnny just say he auditioned well last night. He did.
Bro, they was smacking FSU offensive skill players, bro. Like every time they hit them, bro, they was smacking them dudes. I was like, my girl was like, please just hold them up. Don't be around them. My girl was like screaming at the TV. I'm like, babe, still tackle football. I mean, they got to bring them down. I mean, but all that Keon Coleman jumping over the top of people and running over 13 people. Like,
he had to cut that out at the first half. Yeah, he did that one time.
Having that. Them boys was like, no, y'all go play straight up today.
Them boys came out with a violent mentality. I like it. Yeah, again, that reflects that head coach. He sounded like that's what he breathed out there. So I agree. He auditioned well.
It wasn't gonna be it wasn't finna be no bunch of highlight tapes. Y'all gonna play straight up.
You ain't gonna go out here and embarrass us now. Y'all may win. Y'all gonna win. We know that. Yeah, but we gonna send a message. I ain't gonna put us on the schedule no more just to beat our ass.
Yeah, man. I
Let's
wouldn't.
keep North Alabama off the schedule for future
Now,
purposes.
yeah, with him as the coach, stay
with him as a
away.
coach.
That's stay away.
For
Stay
real.
away.
They're a little violent.
They're too feisty, man.
Too like
But
playing Miami
yeah,
all
man.
over again. Them boys, they came with intensity. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they did, man.
listen,
They was like, y'all came out here to celebrate and have a party. We can't have to play
Yeah.
football today.
right, 100%. Yeah. Let's
Y'all
and
came
ants
for
showed
a
up at that
party.
picnic. Yeah, the ants showed up
y'all.
at the picnic, boy. They weren't. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, listen, Jordan, salute, unbelievable career at Florida State. Did things that nobody thought you were going to do or that you could do when you transferred in. Sorry it ended this way. We appreciate everything you've done, man. For real. Respect.
Dog, Dino Babers just finally got fired from Syracuse, and it took.
It's been a long time coming. They gave him a lot of effort. They gave him. I mean, he's the example. I say they let him get another year. They let him get another year when they probably shouldn't have. He should have been fired He should have been fired at least a year or two ago. Sam don't choke to death. I don't know what don't happen. But Sam just choked and all right.
Sorry about
okay,
that.
he's back. All right, you're alive.
Yeah, man. I was sick. I've been sick since we had the flu.
Oh man, that's going around, man. I'm staying in my house.
Yes,
I ain't trying to get sick before Thanksgiving. I'm finna eat.
Yeah, but they finally. But dude, you know that Dino quarterbacks got hurt, so he had to run a triple option like last week. He installed a triple option.
That's dope.
Like for real, like this man installed a triple option. Like, hey,
yeah,
I was like, damn, Dino.
Yeah,
but like he said, I knew they had to fire him because he was like, man, I can't win here, man. He basically came out and said it like, y'all not giving no NIL money, like y'all not doing nothing.
Yeah, what y'all want him to do if y'all ain't adapting to the new climate?
I'm never gonna win. Like, and he was doing good to me because he'll give you a 10-win, 8-win season every 3 or 4 years. But they got rid of Dino. Yeah.
Anyway, all right, man. We appreciate everybody in the chat. We appreciate everybody, man, who joined us live. Everybody who gonna listen later, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. They round here somewhere at the bottom of the screen. Y'all hit it, man. Sam, you got anything?
Nah, man.
Yo, this is the Listen Up Podcast. We out.
Yep.